Okay, gamers. Uh, hi, Abby. I'm I'm gonna be trying to do I'm gonna be trying to do some creature design, creature creation, spec bio bullshit today. 'Cause I've been meaning to, and I've been forgetting to. And it seems like stream is a place where I get things done. So I'm gonna be doing that. Um, Today I'm gonna be working on geysers. My geysers. Um, I'm actually gonna put that in the title. Yeah, my geysers. Um, and I don't really have like a full plan for what they're supposed to be like, but like, that's the whole reason why I'm working on it now. Um, I don't like writing in that. Wow, I don't like that at all. Let's undo that. Let's write that in something else. They're my geysers. Um, so they I don't know what they look like yet. But I do know that like they live in like the sediments um for geysers. So they live in like these high pressure environments with like the steam in the water, and it's funny for them. They're just like little guys in here. Y- Um I think that they're kind of like mollusks, because I don't know. I just started thinking about like sand dollars so much, and I like the idea of them being kind of like disc shaped. And they're just like little discs, but they have like a shell. Um, I also I also had this idea just last night that like because they're geysers, they have like this little smiley face markings on them. It's just and they just kind of have little I don't know if they this is kind of scary, actually, looking at it the way that it's. I do think that they're a little bit more spotty than that. Um, yeah, this is a shell. Well, yeah, but it's not really supposed to be scary. They're just little guys that live in like I gotta figure out what they eat. They don't have to be. Like when I say creature design, I just mean like this is a new thing. It's honestly more spec bio than it is creature design. It's like I don't intend for it to be scary. Um, I gotta look up more things. I mean, like, considering they live in like high pressure sediments of geysers, they're generally out of the way of people, so they wouldn't be doing much of anything to people. They're just kind of hanging out. I'm trying to figure out if I want these to be like crabby or more like an octopus, because like I don't I don't know if I want them to be like little octopus things in a shell, because like that's one option where it's like this is an octopus and this is its shell, you know. And then there's one where it's more like an isopod or a crab. Well, I mean, similar thing. Well, that would just be like a horseshoe crab. Now that I think about it, I don't want these things to be horseshoe crabs. um I think that if I wanted to make them, I want them to have, you know what, okay. Oops, that's not the right thing. Um, I want them to be more like it. They have like these mollusky legs, but they also have like these pieces of like firm, harder spots that they can use as like their feet, but they also like they fit into like these slots so that there's like it kind of makes them look like they're a crab, but this is like very, very much like soft body on the inside. But it also is like it kind of saves them from like a lot of the pressure. I'm totally making this lopsided. That's awesome. Yeah, something like that. What the hell did I eat though? I haven't figured that out. I think that they would kind of have like rocky patterns on them or something. Maybe. I just know that they're little guys. They're called geysers not because like they even like do something fucked up or geysery. They just kind of live in there, and then sometimes they get shot out of there through the geysers. I gotta figure out their life cycle. I gotta look up. Yeah, I just don't know what else would live in. Well, you know what? They could be like filter feeders as well, which would make it so that they don't really have to move so much and would make more sense for them being like staying still in their in their little shells to protect themselves from the high pressures. But I don't know. It's gonna be at least a little bit unrealistic. That's something that I have to deal with. I also am gonna have to rearrange this. I usually try and figure out what their life cycle is too, and I haven't thought at all about what their life cycle is. You know what? The shell could be actually made kind of rock, and yeah. I mean, like it would make sense if like, because this is the world that they're set in is kind of fantasy, so it doesn't need to make full sense. It can be a little bit silly about it. Um, I'm just trying to figure out what I'm doing with it. Usually, when I do these things, I'm like on my own and I'm thinking about it so hard that my brain starts hurting, which I shouldn't do. It's not good for me to do that because my brain starts hurting. But that's besides the point. Where's my little thing? Where's my thing? Dude, where's my thing? Uh, where's my notes? Okay. I do like the way that they look. I just gotta figure out like how they're doing things. Um, I have like this checklist of things that I want to like figure out for these little sheets because like I have other sheets. Um, I have this one for my silly guys. They're completely different. Those are mammals. Um, nope. There's this which is a some fucking freak. Love them, but they're some fucking freak. Um, so geysers are another little freak, but they're more of a crustacean mollusk thing. Uh, I wonder if they should like, cause okay, I don't know that I gotta look up what the kind of environment that like those fucking geysers are. Like what if there's anything that lives in there. If there's anything that would live in there, you know what I should probably do? I should probably be looking at like what lives near deep sea vents. Because that's probably like, well, those are probably like chemically way different. But in terms of like volatility, it might be similar. I gotta do some research, is what I'm saying. I haven't been doing research. Um, lol. I'm it's I don't know if it's smart. I'm just trying to wing it. Okay. I'm really good at typing. I'm gonna I'm gonna also uh I'm also gonna grab the where's my that's the draw is draw captures. What? Yeah, okay. Um let's go on a little journey. Give me the shit about the I should probably um biotope example. That sounds fun. Evolution and biology of deep sea vents. Yeah, that's helpful. I need to also get a uh geyser I don't know what the fuck I'm looking for. There she blows. That's not active microbiome. So there are little microbiomes there. Getting more active. That's not what I want. Give me this information. Natural thermal geysers are hot springs that periodically erupt with liquid water, steam, and gas. They're found in a few locations. Da, 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 da. Um, you're sure saying a lot of stuff. I'm trying to read. This is so hard for me. This is so hard for me. I don't read. Um, despite extensive geophysical and hydrological study of geysers, including OFG, far less is known about the microbiology of geyser waters. Here we report geochemical and microbiological data from geysed vent water and vent water that collects in splash pools adjacent to OFG during eruptions. Both waters contained microbial cells and radio tracer studies that show they fix carbon dioxide when incubated at cells are better adapted or acclimated to temperatures like those in the vents, being high as fuck near boiling. And I don't know what that is. Please tell me. What are these things? They're highly populated by uh yeah, they're bacteria. Okay. Well, if it is bacteria in there, then there could be like these little guys in there. What is the thing about the CO2? I want to see what the CO2 is and see if I can like. This is probably the most in depth I've gone actually looking into something for these creatures because usually I don't really think about the environments that much. I'm just like, yeah, they do this thing. Like, I'll look at a skeleton or two to figure out the anatomy, but I don't usually look at like the actual all this shit. Um, but I am doing that right now. Uh, there's a lot of words. It's so hard to read. Um, which part would be your favorite part? Like the physical design? Are you talking about the physical design or the? Because I think physical design is usually what people mostly think about when they do creature design. I just also like doing the rest of it. Um, oh, the research. Yeah, I do like doing the research. I don't always do it because sometimes I don't really know what I would research. Like, for example, like I don't have research I didn't really do research for these guys because they're so not real. Something I did do research for them though is like I went to look at sponge structures because sponges do have skeletons, and like this isn't really as like similar to a sponge skeleton, but there are elements of it that are what the gun. Gun, thank you for the follow. Hey, what you doing? What you doing over here? What the hell? That's crazy. I'm talking about my nerd shit. I'm being a fucking nerd. Hello. Yeah, so yeah. I'm trying to work on my geysers, but it's not going so well. So far they look like this. I just because of how many times Spree was talking about yeah, fucking nerd positive. I love being a nerd. Spree was talking about sand dollars so much in that episode, the lore episode, that I was just like it was just locked in my head. Um and now and I really wanted to do some silly little silly little sand dollar things. Um I've they live in they're since they're geysers, they're geysers. I wanted them to be kind of silly. So like they're these like kind of mollusk slash crustacean, a little bit more mollusky though, um, that lives in like these the geyser deposits, sediments, whatever the fuck you'd call it. I don't remember. Uh, and they just kind of like when a geyser like erupts, then like some of them get thrown out, and so they're just these little guys that are from that live in geyser environments, and they're so silly to me. Especially because of the I wait, gun, you didn't see because it was last stream and I didn't show it in the server. But uh oh, I made it like spiral shape. I kind of like that too. Um but so I did more work on the I did more work on the thing, and I had to stop because I realized I didn't actually have a design for the geysers, and they do show up in this. So I was like, I have to stop because I don't have anything else to do. Um, so this is where we're at right now. I mean, I guess if you want, I guess if you want to call it that. Wait, why the hell is my chat so low? Hang on, why is it down there? What the fuck happened? Hello? Oh no, my whole fucking thing got moved up. Why? Why did my entire thing get moved up? It's so weird. I don't know why that happened. Um, that's so fucked up of you to say, Gun. You're so cool and awesome. But yeah, this is what I'm like. I'm doing the creature design so that I can finish this. Like I want to at least get the roughs done by the end of the month. Probably not gonna happen because I realize how close the end of the month is on the last week only. I feel also really bad for 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 making Spree get hit in the face by these things because they do have a shell. They are hard and they would hurt. But it's unfortunately it's funny to me. Unfortunately, it is extremely funny to me. Yeah, I mean she is, but it's still kind of mean to like make her get hit in the face. Like that's kind of mean. It's it's for the humor. It is for the humor. This one's for Camo is a really funny thing to say. Anyway, the geysers. Um, yeah, okay. I'm trying to figure out if I want them to have this smile on them. I think it would be so cute if they had little smileys on them, but I'm trying to figure out a way to make it so that it looks like a little bit more natural. I mean like, okay, are there any creatures that do have sort of smiley looking faces on them? Uh they, you know what? You're right. You're right. They do have a lot. Um oh, that's crazy. Hold on. I'm like also trying to like look up on I'm just trying to look shit up. Uh yeah, cuz like I'm looking at them right now. Um hold on. Let me let me I closed it. Oops. Yeah, okay. Um you've got this cow with a little smile and you've got the snake. And a lot of these are just animals. Oh, those are some teeth right there. Um I forgot how smiley the quokkas always were. Yeah, I kind of Do I want to add a nose onto it? I don't know. I kind of like this though. Let me let me grab the this funny little thing that you said though. Show me them. Oh, that's awesome! Look at that! Look at that! Oh, that's so good. Hey, hey. Oh, that's fucking delightful. Oh my god. Okay. I wanted to look at sand dollars too. Just so I can because they are inspired by sand dollars. Uh I could make it I don't know. How much of it do I want to make markings and how much of it do I want to make like because I could make some of it markings and some of it like actual like physical patterns and such. It's a lot to think about. It's a lot to think about. Um, Sound dealers are such little guys. I think that like I in my head, the geysers are like pretty small, but like they can get up to like bigger sizes, kind of like lobsters. You know what? They might actually benefit from like the pressure uh in certain ways. Well, hmm. No. You know what? Actually, no. They if they shed their shells while they were outside of a geyser, so like being blown out of a geyser is part of their shedding cycle. So that like the pressure of like the environment doesn't like make their shell too small. So they get like blown out of the geyser, then like that sort of like stimulates their shedding season and they shed in and their shell can be like bigger uh in a more in and it's not fucked up by pressure. That would be interesting. I know that like it doesn't need to be that way, but like that could be part of it. And it could be the reason why some of them get so fucking big is that they just kind of get blown out of the geysers more often. Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna write that down so I don't forget it. Uh, uh, Low pressure uh, environments stimulate shedding season. Shedding, probably not season. I would just say stimulate shedding. Um, Low pressure environments stimulate shedding. Or lower pressure, probably, because they're in a high pressure environment. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying is that like because of like the lack of pressure, they're suddenly like, ah, now there's so much room. I need a bigger shell, and they get a bigger shell so they can grow more. I also like so the way that like that I have it um where where like because in this little thing, uh Spree is like, she falls off the island and it gets blown right back onto it by a geyser. And this little circle here is the geyser. So they do sometimes end up on the islands. And I think that like that is an extremely low pressure environment in comparison. And so like they're those the shells probably also help them from like fucking exploding, because like blobfish are uh like when they come out of water, they look how people like see them all the time. Yeah, it's honestly really tragic. But the shell probably helps them do that, and then like the slower process of shedding probably helps them like adjust to the pressure a bit more. Why is my why I'm I'm so confused. Why is that doing that? Why where's my caption? Where's my song? There. Why is it not why is it doing that? Hold on. Okay, no, that's fine. The Why is that weird? Hold on. Transform fit to screen. No. Don't no come back. Why are you going up there? Okay, that's fine now. Why was it going up there though? Oh, now the fucking frame is off. It's too small now. What? Transform. No, it's unlock it. Transform fit to screen. Come back down here. Cool. I don't know why that was happening. I really have. You're right. Because it's fun. It's silly. I like being silly with it. Um, um, okay, okay. I think I have enough to like work on it more. I like that. I don't know what their life cycle is like. That is the one thing where did my stylus go? There it is. The only thing that I don't really have for them is their life cycle. I have most of the other things down. Um, I also need to read. I hope the music isn't too noisy for you, or if I need to turn it down or whatever, please tell me. Because I know that this is a very different kind of song energy than Spree streams, at least. um, yeah, okay. Geysers, my geysers. I think I want to lay it out differently because this is kind of messy as hell. I want to have. Hold on. Let me just. I want the. I want the name here. I want the appearance. Um, that's so real of you. I want this one to be this area to be environment. I want there to be heading. Um, well, actually, this can be smaller. This doesn't need to be this tall. I don't usually plan this much out, but usually I'm not on stream. So, um, yeah. Yeah, I want it to be there. I'm gonna have a little section around here for also like feeding. Um, this is the shedding, and this is probably just gonna be um maybe you know what? No, I don't need to have a life cycle. I'm putting too much on myself. I like having a life cycle. It's fine if I don't. Um, well, actually, shedding is part of the island stuff. So, this is environment. Um, uh, uh, that's environment when it's on the ground. The environment when they're on the islands. And this is the shedding because that's related to that. I mean, okay, I think that the eruptions from the geysers also benefit them because, like, I know that they're not plants, but, like, it's kind of like seed dispersal in my head. It helps them, like, not crowd an environment too much and, like, disperse and find new environments. Um, yeah, I also think that, yeah, yeah, also having, like, the genetic diversity. Um, I think that they are good at digging, all things considered, but like, I don't know what goes in this area. This is probably just like my other area. Um, I'm just gonna continue doodling till I have something that I feel solid about, then I'll like start moving it into the sections. Um, but yeah, I think I feel pretty solid on oops. I think I feel pretty solid on this. That is such a fun question. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. That's such a good question. Uh, what would have that fit? Okay, because like that would mean that there would be a creature like that on the islands because they don't really have predators inside the vents unless somebody makes one. I don't think that they have predators inside the vents at all. Um, no, of course, of course, of course. I like that a lot. I mean, it could be like it doesn't. You don't even need to be like a predator to have mimicry. You can mimic a poisonous thing too, and I think that a poisonous thing with a smiley on it makes a lot of sense. Um, in terms of like silly little designs. Uh, it does have a shell though, so I don't think it's too worried about having. Oh, you know what? Because it sheds, there's going to be a point of its life where it doesn't actually have that protection, and it could have like the smileys underneath, like they fade over time. They're still probably there, but they fade over time because they're there when they're soft bodied, and that's so that they can deter predators. But when they have a shell, they don't need to worry about it as much. They still need to worry about it, but it's not as as bad. I think that would be fun. Yeah, yeah, I think that'd be fun. Um, so okay. So assuming that's what it is, what is their anatomy under the shell? Because that'll probably help me. Um, thank you, Gun. I hope your food is awesomes. I think that pretty sure that I need to look at crab anatomy for a second, just so I can figure out what that looks like. Crab, crab shedding. If you love me, then I don't care if you like it. What is? Oh, they're so light. I guess that makes sense. Like you kind of want to blend in when you're. Oh, that could also. Ooh. Oh, I'm having so many thoughts now. Oh God, oh fuck. It's kind of like jellyfish shaped. Actually, no, it wouldn't look like that. It would have these would be really thin. It'd be like that. Um, if they are like a mollusk, then they would probably have like under that would be their little feeder. Yum 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 yum. But I need to figure out. Okay, wait. It would make sense if they were a filter feeder, but filter feeder structure. Yay! I think I already looked at this stuff um for sponges, but you know what? Actually, it could be that on that it could be like there's these little fine hairs on that because I know that there are like there were fine hairs and stuff on like crabs and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, it could be like that. Yeah, okay. They're so silly to me. They're kind of like cave crabs from Stardew in my brain, I think. Except much flatter. Uh they kind of trying to hmm. Hmm. I think that I'm drawing them as if they do have bilateral symmetry, but I don't think it's required. I guess I'm just thinking in a very bilateral symmetry way because a lot of things do have bilateral symmetry. They don't need to though. Um, uh, I should be looking at clams though, because clams are probably also a good thing to check out for these, considering it's a mollusk. These diagrams are so yucking. They're so yucking. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, clams don't have bilateral symmetry at all. I'm being a little bit dramatic. Uh. Hmm. 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 I could take away some of their legs. I don't think they need that many. I genuinely don't think they need that many. I think I was just like putting them on there. I could give them just like five, and that way they could look a little bit more like sand dollars, but like from the bottom. It'd be a little funny. I think that's cute. I do think that's cute, actually. I do actually also want to make it so that they're not. I want them to be not so like dome, perfect dome shaped. I don't think they have a head either. Like they're very much just like a thing. They're very much a thing in a shell. Hmm. Hmm. Trying to. What are the what are I'm trying to think about what they'd be camouflaging as. It could be that they're like camouflaging. Oops, that's the ruler thing again. Um, it could be that they're camouflaging more like butterflies camouflage, where they have like those fucking eye things, and like to maybe to um maybe to animals it's like freaky eyes, but like to us it looks like weird big big wet kawaii eyes. And then maybe the smile isn't really a smile, but it's like a line on the shell. So it's just kind of like it kind of looks that way, but it's not really there. Yeah, I might change the shape of it so it's not so circular, but I do like the little circle face to it. Oh my god, what if I made it like cat-ish? It's just Oh, that would be so funny. Hold on. Growth plate, like I really like the little ears actually. I kind of want to add those. I don't know what they'd be for. It could be that they're not really ears, but like they kind of look like them because hmm, that's so silly. That's so silly. Show uniform you want it, but it could make them more unique per individual and environmentally driven. Shape of their tunnel causes slight bumps in their outer rim. That is true. I could do that. It would actually, you know what? It would kind of make sense if these were like the back then, so that it's like dragging, and this is just like it dug this way. I just also think that it's really silly. Um, hmm. Hmm. Uh, yeah, okay. I want these to be more like just like little. This part is not marking because this is when they're soft bodied. Um, I think yeah, they can have little ridges on the outside. Uh, I also think it would be really cute if they had like little spots like this, and maybe like they had more. Maybe they have more, but it's like these ones are the nicest, cutest ones. Yeah, I was coming at it from and opening up the space so that other folks can do similar silly ideas. Yeah, yeah, of course. I think that they're really just supposed to be like little silly guys. They're not. I don't really mind if people want to mess around with my little guys. I have way too many ideas and like a lot of structure for them. But like if we're talking about like how much structure they need, like the shrub sloths, they they're pretty open. I drew them all pretty similarly other than their the colors, but like this is like the foot structure of the extremes, but like my own where is it? Where's my oh there, yeah, my own Sona has like differently shaped feet. Like the claws are shorter and the uh and the feet are longer than they are in like in this example. So it's like this one's not really a long hanging or short hanging. This is kind of like a different one. Although it does lean more towards short hanging. Although I do think that like my specific Sona doesn't spend much time in the trees. I think that it's more of like a grounded one. Um Hence why it was sleeping in the bottom of a tree hollow instead of like all in the branches with a bunch of others. Um yeah, yeah, there's thoughts I have on this. uh anyway, this is the soft body though. It's so silly looking. Um yeah, okay, so they have eye spots. I think that their shell does look a little bit more like rock. Just to you know what? Ooh. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking my silly little thoughts. And now I'm not because they left my brain and now my head is empty. um, hmm, hmm. Come on, you can retrieve the thoughts again. Come on. Shit. I could make the rocks kind of like the floating rocks. Maybe. I mean, they do that really often. Hmm. uh, damn, I know what I'm doing, I swear. I swear I know what I'm doing. I do kind of like the little spirally shell. I do kind of like that little spirally shell. Help this thing. It's stuck. I might be getting rid of this part of the animation though. Should I keep this shell spirally? I kind of like that. It doesn't really make sense though. Uh, what makes shells harden for? You know what? It actually does make a lot of sense that they'd shed once they leave the geyser because I don't. Well, they could probably get calcium from like outside of the like or from the not from outside. Jesus, from like the walls of those deposits. But probably I don't know if they would be very high in calcium or anything. They got these things can withstand pretty high, pretty drastic changes in temperature and environment in general too. I'm thinking about that, and it's just making me think of tardigrades. Ooh, I gotta think with my little brain. My little brain is so occupied all the time. Or not. Or sometimes not. You know what? You know what? I'm just gonna try and start filling out some of the space because if I think about this too much, I'm gonna be spending all my time thinking about it and not enough time actually doing it. Uh, I think that I will just go ahead and do it. Um, this is gonna be my sketch layer though, which means that I'm still gonna do it again because I'm crazy. There. Well, that's kind of too horseshoe crab for me. Trying to figure out what they do on the islands. I don't know if they stick around on ponds or if they would. Oh fuck! It's Miles. Just so you know, my friend put this playlist together. I'm not taking this song. I'm not taking. I'm not taking this song off. But yeah, this is a song that my friend put on this playlist, and this playlist is specifically for me to be streaming. So that's Miles. Whatever. I'm sorry, Gun. I'm sorry. What if I made it so that when they were when they're in a shell, they're like, you know what? This reminds me. I actually have a version of the I I made these fucking creature versions of like of the autism creature and like also the ADHD creature because I thought it was silly. And um I do actually have the fucking ADHD creature have like a false eyes and smile. I want to see if I can find that. I like making creature designs. It might be in it might be in a on a it might be in a file pocket file. You wait, you didn't have the context of the creatures, the ADHD and autism creatures. Oops. Yeah, it's a newer thing. Let me see if I can find them though. I don't know if I can. Where are they? Come on. I know that I have it exported somewhere. Where is it? It is a newer thing though. Damn, where the fuck is it? That's my TBH. Where's my other one? I just don't have it. Okay, this was when I was in Fire Alpaca though, so that helps me find it, but where is it? It will. Sometimes it does already, just because I'm like I I don't really understand a lot of the shit that people talk about. Like I don't actually go on a lot of socials anymore. So it is very often where like people will be talking about shit and I'm like, I have no fucking clue what you're talking about. I'm just like, I really have no idea what you're talking about. This is weird. Um, yeah. I need to find where It's in the. Okay, this was before I was doing that. Where is it? Where is it? It's doing a really good job at finding my shit. No, it's after that. What? It's my alien refs. There's not. I can't find it. I can't find it. This is sad. Where is it? I bet. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Like, cause I did. Ah. This is the saddest day of my life. No, it's not. Hmm. Where's my guy? Where's my guy? You just put your hands up. Come on, come on. Where's my guy? You get to hear how fucking creature I get sometimes. I hope this is fun for you. Yeah, yeah. I found it. I found it. This is the thing. It's the by the way creature. It's the BTW creature. Um it does have like a false smile because like these are false eyes and the real eye is connected to that little marking that makes it look like a smile, but it's not. Its beak is underneath. I wanted it because like the the BTW creature is supposed to look like a cat, or it kind of looks like a cat, and I'm just like, no, fuck that. You're a bird. You're an owl. Anyway, I could actually make this a little bit more scaled, and that might. Oop. Oh, it'd actually be really cute if it was like a kitty face. Actually, feels like a kitty face, and like there's like. Yeah, thank you. Or if you're talking about like the actual one, you're so right because it's like it's just it's so it's so it's so much. Anyway, back on task. Back on task. I can't get fucking distracted. Stop. That stop is at me, not at you. Could be that like that this is actually like not that that not that big of like I don't think that any of these panels are like very distinct, but it could just be that there's like markings along this one, and that's why that's doing that. I think that there would also be like, well, oop, I'm trying to figure out how this would be. Would it make more sense for it to be like that? I'm trying to figure out the best way to make this kind of shaped. I don't think that this needs to be like that too much. They can just be like that, actually. So it's a little bit more... That would be a little bit more, shell-y. It also kind of makes it look like a bug, which I like, because... Because... Crustaceans are kind of like bugs. Has that little smile to it. Shrimp is bugs. Yeah, I think I'm gonna add the like uneven edges to it, and it's gonna be they're gonna be I think it's gonna I'm gonna make it like somewhat even, but like it doesn't have to be. Like it's just for this example that they're gonna look like this. But I'll draw. You know, I like drawing more variants to like show that there are some. Um, damn, how long have I been streaming? I don't even know. An hour and a half. That's pretty good. I'm not gonna stop. That's not me saying I'm gonna end now. It's just usually I get tired at around 2 hours. I'm feeling okay though right now. I need to show the bottom half of oh wait, I gotta write the it's top. um what's it about? I always have to read these long messages out loud so I can actually process them. Uh, the premise is that the player is tasked with restoring the glory to, to glory an abandoned mansion slash library. The gameplay involves a lot of spinny crafting timers and slowly researching books to get more crafting components so you can research more complicated books. That sounds kind of fun, but I can also like imagine how that would be really kind of boring or annoying. It totally depends on the player. It thankfully lets you pause everything at any time, so it could be turn-based, which helps me out a lot. It's a good co-game to stream. Makes for a good code game with stream because I can give it. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense to me. Is that diagram too big? No, I don't care. I don't know why my tablet has been like holding the control key down sometimes after I hit buttons, but it has, which is weird. I don't know what that's about. What am I doing? What am I doing? I'm drawing the leg again so that you can see that it's a soft body thing. I don't think that they have any suckers or anything though. I don't think that they need them. They're filter feeders. They're not like octopi or anything. Although I do think that they kind of like I'm thinking about it. I might make it so that when they are on land, they act a little bit more like or they feed at least a little bit more like snails. It would probably help. I don't think that they could get away with filter feeding as easily in the on the islands. But I feel like under a lot of pressure uh in the events, I think that they would have trouble moving anyway because like the pressure would just kind of keep them in their shell. So they probably move a lot around a lot more when they are off the on the islands. I'm gonna turn this around. I'm gonna turn this around because I don't want it. This is yes, apply the transformation. No, move it. It's on the edges of like the little limb parts of the shell, like right here. There's like little hairs there, and it does have like a mouth inside. They could, but like they would still need to like lick it off, and they would still need to like actually move around and get to it. Uh, which would make them just like, a little bit more like snails again. Although they're not sticky at the bottom. So if they're moving out of water, which they can do, I think. I don't think they have a problem being out of water. I just don't know how long they would be able to be out of water. They'll probably be fine, but I don't know. This is probably the one that I thought about the least, or at least had like the most vague idea before starting. Um, so yeah, I usually have more of a plan. Let's make that smaller for writing it. Thank you. I get a little bit crazy. I get a little bit crazy thinking about these things. I don't know. Like I've only really thought about like these in depth starting like yesterday, where I wrote some notes about what I wanted them to be like. Um, and I wrote these because, like, the only thing that I knew about them in my head is that they were kind of like sand dollar shaped and that they get blown out of geysers. And I'm like, I wasn't really sure about how I wanted them to get in there because, like, I was thinking about them possibly like living on the islands and then falling off and then kind of like burying themselves. But I'm like, I don't really like that. I do think that they still do that. Um, because I do think that they're kind of silly and they can't really see, so they just kind of like fall off the island sometimes. But I didn't really like the idea that like, well, okay, there was a version of them that I had in my head where they had kind of like turtle life cycle thing where they go off out of their like natural habitat to like lay eggs. In turtles' cases, it would be a beach. In there in the geysers case, I was thinking they would be like laying them underground, around like around or in geyser sediments, but I'm not sure about that. Um, and then like when they mature, they kind of like sorry, it's Miles. I can't think when this is on. This is one of one of my friend's favorite songs. Uh, it's you know Miles, but I'll spell it in the uh yeah, you know Miles. It's I the thing is like okay, my friends and I sometimes look at media that's quote unquote bad just because it's like somebody's clearly having fun with it. And that's important. I think that in terms of like the quote unquote quality of it, it is kind of fucked up and shitty, but on the like someone is having fun with it and like it in the and how important that is, it's a great song. That you know what that is true. I'm just like saying out loud because like you know he did just like kind of like make sounds into a mic like that. Me when I'm like and that's it. Yeah, my content, I wish my content was more like that. No, I don't. I kind of do. I wish I could make more content like that where I was just like being crazy and having fun like that. But I overthink everything if it wasn't clear by the way I'm making my geysers. How do you spell mollusk? Hold on. I need to remember how to spell mollusk. Okay. Thank you. I don't like that arrow. The, the, he's kind of he's kind of crazy in like a good way. Do I want the No, I'll leave that space there. Uh I usually rewrite everything as well when I'm doing the like official version because like my handwriting isn't always very legible, and I'm crazy enough to like realign everything with like the select tool and sometimes move like individual letters closer together instead of just it would be a lot better if I just typed it out, but I don't know why I don't like doing that. Oops, this is a different Sona that I had in the works, but this is concept that I didn't move forward with yet. Um, I think I've done it a couple times, but like some of it has to do with like the fact that like sometimes I think the last time I did it, like I was at a different point with my handwriting, and I need to do it again. One of the reasons why I don't do it is also probably because of the brush. So, because like the texture of the brush changes. I should do it again though, so that I don't go insane having to write all this stuff out by hand. Um, yeah, I don't know. That's what I want for filter feeding. What did I need? What else did I need to put on here? Well, this is my free area, so I'll just leave that, and I'll do their environment next. I need to look at diagrams of geysers again. Geyser, underground. The diagrams for geysers are really interesting to me because, like, I don't know what I was expecting, but um, like they look like this, and I wasn't really expecting them to have such a like woo sort of shape. But I guess it makes sense. Yeah, they got a lot of chambers. And I guess it makes sense because it needs to hold in like the steam and it needs to like catch a lot of that stuff, and that's like what the pressure is. I'm assuming at least. Uh because if it wasn't, then it would just be kind of like a hot spring. Anyway, how do I draw that for this specifically? Um I should probably draw like the ground first. There's a ground, and I don't know where I'm gonna put the geyser. No, I don't like it there. I don't like it there. Well, no, I'm gonna put it there. I need to just, I need to just move forward. Yeah? I'm gonna look that up. Give me the goods. Give me the goods. Ooh. Yeah, because like yeah, that makes sense to me. I mean, that's fair. Um yeah, that's interesting because like because the difference would be that like the because it's below sea level, it can be closer to the Earth's core, which means it can be hotter. So and it's also already full of water. So like the seawater can just seep in like that, but if it's a geyser, it needs to be closer to it. It's a ground level thing and not a sea level thing. Um, so that would mean that the water needs to travel up, which means it needs to like gain pressure, and in this case, that would be via chambers, because otherwise you just have steam vents or hot springs. I'm crazy. I don't want to make this too extensive because if I do, I'm just going to take up too much space. But I do want to make it look like a little vent, a little, a little geyser vent. I also am going to make it a little bit more, um, just a little bit more, artistic with the way that it looks instead of making it so diagrammy because this is me being a little silly. That's my little geyser. I might just put an arrow saying they live in here. I don't know want my brush to be that big. I forgot. It's too big. I think that's silly. They live there. Um, mm, um, I'm trying to figure out. Okay, wait. Hmm. Hmm. It would make more sense if their underside was exposed, if that's how they're filter feeding, now that I think about it. Hmm. I mean, like, something else I was thinking about was making, like, these little sections, these dark sections, like, a little bit of an opening that has, like, filters in it, so you could filter feed through there. And it would help it. It would help it so it doesn't have to like stick like that. They don't really have any way to stick though, because they're kind of just like in a shell. So they kind of just like floating around in that space, which I don't mind if they're doing that. They're kind of silly little guys that don't have much brain to deal with. Ugh. Hmm. I love my little circles and my zoom ins because my guys are always so tiny or in tiny spaces. Actually, the last one that I did zoom in for was the skyscrapers, which are not tiny. That was just a zoom in so you could see like the structure. They're like pretty small in my head. I think, yeah, yeah, they are pretty small. Are they even that heavy? I don't know if they would be that heavy. I mean, in my little animation, like they kind of like the way that I have them uh falling, like it. I mean, Spree is gonna be heavier than this thing, so that's not definitely has a weight to it. I just need to figure out how heavy it is. That's more cartoony than anything. Hmm. This is so scary, actually. This little thing that I drew, that's so scary. How do I draw these little guys? I don't know if I really need to draw them in their environment because they don't really do anything there other than just sit around. But I guess like, I'm trying to figure out how I would describe it though, because usually I do have my little descriptions. Uh, they tend to float around in there. I don't know. They kind of just float around in there. They're funny. My geysers are so silly to me. I mean, they're called geysers. A really tiny one. They live there. Uh, oops. I'm really good at running out of room. Whatever, I'll figure this out later. I forgot the dash. Forgot the hyphen. Geysers. They inhabit the underground chambers. Uh, floating. Floating around. And filter feeding on bacteria. They don't really do much. I mean, like, that's fine. Sponges don't really do much. Sponges really don't do much. They just kind of sit there. These guys don't have to do much. It's okay. They're silly. Sit in underground chambers and yeah, you're right. They filter feeders as a whole, they just generally don't do much. They just kind of like sit there. Uh, the high pressure environment. I'm not gonna be able to write pressure in here. Uh, discourages movement. So they stay curled up until I'm gonna move this. I don't like that big space. until they're blasted out. Is it 2 hours in eruption? I'm being silly. I'm really good at spelling, man. No, there's one R. My funny little. I'll figure out how I want to make that look more later. This one is probably going to be also similar to the Sky Streamer one in terms of like finish level. Which I don't mind. I have an animation that I was working on. Um, and that's the whole reason why I was working on this. Uh, how am I supposed to write this next description? Because I know that I made it write something about like the it helps them find more environments to to inhabit, but it also oh man. Trying to think about it. Trying to think about it. I think I'm getting to a point again where I'm very tired and not sure if I should be if I should continue streaming because I'm running low on energy. Hmm. This is definitely more progress than I would have had otherwise though. Thank you. Thank you. I had fun streaming. I do have fun streaming. Um yeah, I think I'm probably gonna end it here so that I can give my brain a break. Uh and such. Um, yeah. Thank you for coming by. Uh, it, yeah, I had fun. I was making a little guy. trying to make my little guy. I do, yeah. I had they they live in there. They live there. They live here. They look like little bacteria. They're not though. They eat bacteria. Anyway, yeah, thank you for coming. Anybody who's lurking, if there's anybody still lurking. Thank you for coming around, Gun. It was nice seeing you in my chat. I stream tomorrow. Usually I try to start streaming by noon, but usually I start streaming from anywhere from 2 to or 1 to 3 uh p.m. PST. Try to stream at noon. It's probably not going to end up streaming at noon again, but I've tried to. Yeah, thank you for coming. Uh okay. I'm gonna hop out. Bye bye. Bye bye. Wait, I could try raiding someone. I don't think there's anyone here I could raid, but like I could try raiding someone. I've never tried raiding someone before. Should I do that? Might be funny. Do I have anybody I could raid? I don't even know, man. Do I have any of my streamers raiding streaming? I've got there's two people that I could think about raiding. Um we have they're both way bigger than me. They, um we got somebody who's streaming side order with like 200 views, and then someone who's playing Minecraft with like uh 27 viewers. That probably is more the energy. Should we go? What? Michael, I'm ending stream. Well, sorry. 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 We're gonna raid someone. We're gonna go raid Mark Katato, I think. If I can do if I This is Michael. This is my best friend, and Michael's the one who put the playlist together. So you know, Miles is Michael's fault. What do you mean I did unraid? Did it just kick me out of that? That's crazy. Anyway, let's go be raiding. Thank you for coming along. I'm gonna see if I can stream tomorrow. Hopefully I will, and I might stream the animation tomorrow instead of the more of the creature. Either way, I'm gonna be trying to stream tomorrow. Thank you for coming. Bye bye. If you want to do if you want to do raid phrase, which there's not very many people, but if you want to do raid phrase, there's they live there. Anyway, bye bye. Thank you for coming. Bye bye.